Hello everyone, good morning. Introduce me. My name is Muhammad Affin Alif from Group 9 with the student number ID is 2100024399. Okay, before I start to explain the presentation of our group, allow me, as a moderator of the course of this presentation, to convey the theme and title that will the basis or reference for our group presentation. The theme that will be raised by our group is human violations in Indonesia, and also with the title case of human rights violations in the Bali bombing tragedy. Okay, here I will read one of the narrative arguments in the introduction. Okay, let's get started. No country is free from action that violate the law, both criminally and civilly. However, what has caught the public's attention is the increase of criminal action that can harm the interests of others can be done anytime, anywhere. Terrorism for terrorism in the name of the enforcement of Islamic law. The Bali bombing tragedy one in Kuta Regency, Bali on October 12, 2002 killed 202 people and injured 209 people. The police immediately intervened to uncover the syndicate behind this bloody tragedy. The three main actors, Samdra, Amloji, and Ariflon, that were identified and followed by his subordinate. The 2000 Bali bombings were the worst terrorist attacks since the terrorist attacks on September 11, 2001. The victims came from 20 countries. This is the worst terrorist attack in Indonesia. According to the 1937 UN Convention, the definition of terrorism is all form directed against a nation with the aim of causing a form terrorism to certain individuals or the wider community, and including crime. The U.S. Department of Defense also described terrorism in 1990 as illegal action or action with threat of violence or coercion against individual right or property that cause or threaten governments or communities of political, religious, or idealistic reasons. MUI admits there is no agreement of the definition of terrorism, and the MUI said terrorism in general is a crime against humanity and threatens state sovereignty, security, world peace, and public welfare. Formulation of the problem is how is the implementation of legal protection for victims of criminal action of terrorism in Bali. Protection of human rights against victims of criminal action of terrorism according to Law Number 15 of 2003 concerning the eradication of criminal action of terrorism. From the result of these investigations, this form of human rights protection for victims of terrorism is running quite well, including compensation and rehabilitation. Further improvements are needed so that the victims of crime of terrorism can be protected if they later become disabled. In life, the function and condition of the victims must be supported by the government.
My name is Adnin NIM 2100024400 from Group 9. In the course of the Bali bombing terrorism by Muslims who actually have a good understanding of religious based on the narrow meaning of jihad and martyrdom, the symbols are extraordinary and they will be the fog and respite the title of main drum from the creator, so they went straight to heaven. In court, victims are required to reveal legal protection so that they can testify honestly and freely their experience and feelings. Victims have the right to claim the right at all stage of the judicial process, which can be divided into the pre-assessment stage, planning stage, and post-judgment stage. Victims have the right to claim the right at all stages of the trial, which can be divided into pre-evaluation, review, and post-assessment. The amount is also not determined by the policy of X institution that provides it. In accordance with Law No. 31 year 2014 and Law No. 15 year 2003 fees amended Law No. 13 on the protection of witnesses and victims year 2006. The production set by the government does not provide compensation to victims of the Bali bombings. Regarding the eradication of criminal acts of terrorism. Year 2006 and Law No. 15 on the eradication of criminal acts of terrorism. In 2003 course, the course of stand the GW Mauritian bombing investigation. In the verdicts of the defense, Mas Rizal Alisa Tohija, the first was not handed down. However, the decision cannot be overcome because it does not reveal the identity of the victim, who is indication entitled to it. Therefore, the court must as other legal remedy, such as a court's decision on wage thing is and must refer it to the definition of financial.
Hello, my name is Selvi Putri Lubis, NIM 2100024413. Jihad and martyrdom are what the Bali bombs absolute discern and from the education they abstain on the Mujahideen Army Academic in Afghanistan. They desperately wanted a place to place what the hand education into practice. The marty upset obsessed the road of Allah, the manner they do it for concession, with their personal information of what they agree with in, and they who disagree with him in line with Islam know-how are unbelievers who can be killed. In the stand in 2002 problem also will the Indonesian Muhajirin conflict came into insight. The meeting could be held single in August 2002 wherein the only assembly could be held at the residence of Abdul Matin and Ali Gufron. Umar Patek Sorgrok where the assembly will speak the booming in Bali. Turned into also Planet Idris Amorezi, Imam Samudra Abdul Ghani Ali Imron, Cartel intro Imam Samudra, who mentioned the Bali booming plan. He also described the attacks of the people committed inside the boomings carried by men of Imam Samudra, who mentioned the Bali booming terrorism plan. He also announced the project of the worried the in booming of the Department of Duit by means of Imam Samdra. The Department of Duit is built into three important lines. Abdul Matin, Abdul Ghani, Imam Patek, and Sorden are responsible for making and assembly bombs, making ready bomb equipment, and Amalagi label for blowing 31st responsible. Get it from blow up unstable and address transportation issue, and Idris a money porter and housing officer in Bali, managing site vision troubles with Amalogi. The patrons obtained and acted on what is now as cutting-edge know-how, what influenced the strategy we observed consisting of the strength of patrolling homologging motors with Bali police number.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hi everyone, introduce me Fira Anastasya Putri Hapsari, NIM 2100244401 from a group of 9. The Bali bombings had direct and indirect impacts, death and injuries, victim reserving treatment, and the to infrastructure and public facility were direct result of the Bali bombings. Meanwhile, but domestic and foreign tourists were indirectly affected by the massive departure for Bali. Prevention and eradication of terrorism in Indonesia is not only a matter of law and is enforcement, but also social, cultural, and economic issues related to state resilience. So, that policy and measure for prevention and eradication must also aim to maintain the balance of society. We protect the rights of victims, witnesses, and substitution and defendants who have been harmed directly or indirectly, and balance the sovereignty of the country where the crime of terrorism occurred. This is a self-defense process governed by Law 15 of 2003 and must be paid according to accreditation. Legal protection for victims of terrorism that deserves attention in the victim, being a witness in the trial.
Hello, my name is FURKAN, name Tujuan 000244411, group 9. This narrow understanding is that bombers are essential to carrying out their actions. Martyrdom is most likely acquainted with jihad and a narrowed understanding of jihad. Murkesh is person radical. The meaning of the word acts of terrorists which stipulates the victims of criminal Allah religion, but the word jihad itself has two different meanings. Years egg this is election feared as a criminal terrorist and as characteristic of Indonesia as a state sponsor of terrorists. For years, we veterans in Bali become fixed time amongst in Australia, Inggris, Amerika Serikat, Jerman, and several countries.